Shalom, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring in his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect at the USA. Shalom. So yeah, just another quick news and prophecy update in which we understand that we're about to head into some very treacherous and hard times to deal with. A lot of faith and patience is going to be required to get through these times because, Esau is getting ready to lock things back down once more. And a lot of privileges are going to be taken away, And so, that flesh is going to come into play at some point. And that's where that hour of temptation is going to pretty much make itself known as Esau is taking away, the right to eat, for not complying with that thing. As it says right here from the New York Post, Chinese residents starving as world's strictest C-19 lockdown bans them from leaving home, you see? And so you can bet that this is coming to Babylon the Great soon. Matter of fact, over there in New York, you can't even eat pretty much unless you got proof of that thing, man. You see? So all this is coming to Babylon the Great. So starvation is starting to set in. And this is why the scriptures say, men of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. So let's read some of this real quick. Residents under strict lockdown rules in one of China's largest cities say they are facing starvation after they were banned from going outside to get food. All right? So they rather your ass die inside your house than for you to go out into the city and get food, all because you're not complying with the government. Officials around the city of Exile on Monday told its 13 million inhabitants they were only allowed out from their homes when invited to take part in a new round of mass C-19 testing or for medical emergencies. You see the draconian measures? It says because the severe measures were introduced, one member from each household was allowed out once every 2 days to buy food, okay? But now they have ramped it up. You can't even go outside your house unless you comply. So let's this pretty much is outlines, was written in 2 Kings 15 chapter. Let's go to it real quick. 2 Kings 15 and verse 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. This is going to come up on the whole world, man. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another and swords in their hands. All right, we're going to skip down to verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city, as we have just read, and should not be able because of what the lockdown, the siege, the barricades. The famine is going to be a man-made famine, meaning that it's not going to be a lack of resources, but it's going to be a lack of access to those resources unless you go through the government. It says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay? And men shall be afraid. And we're going to come back to verse 19 in 1 second. Let's go back to this real quick. Because there's a witness who's posting on social media about what's going on. Exxon residents took to social media to call for help, saying they were starving and asking neighbors to provide supplies for them, you see? So you can see where this is headed. It's only going to intense, to the point of where 2 Kings 15 and 19 going to take place. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. See? And spoil their goods. Right now you ask for food, but sooner or later you're going to be taking their goods. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? It's only going to ramp up, man. These are only the beginning of sorrows. So let's go back. At the top, he says, quote, I'm about to be starved to death. Damn. I'm about to be starved to death, wrote one person on Weibo. Shit. China's equivalent of Facebook. There's no food. My housing compound won't let me out. And I'm about to run out of instant. Damn. Please help. Damn, this is a post on Facebook or Weibo, man. Damn. Boy say he run out of instant noodles. He says, I don't want to hear any more about how everything is fine. Quote, said another. So what if supplies are so abundant? See, they're useless if you don't actually give them to people. And that's what the government's going to do. They're going to deprive you of your resources to get you to buy down and take that thing. All right. So this is crazy, man. This is crazy, but this is stuff that we understand has to come into play for us to get up out of here. And according to the scriptures, a lot of people are going to die, due to the famine. 2 Corinthians 16. Let's see here. I may have passed it. Yeah, verse 22, 2 Corinthians 16 and 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. See? And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So if you escape outside the city to get something to eat, ultimately the sword is going to destroy you, either the military or the teeth of wild beasts or some other kind of plague. All right. 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung. Cast out of where? Out of their houses. As dung, because they're going to be starved out. And there should be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted and the cities shall be cast down, man. Heavy times we're coming into. And so, that's enough of that. But, for the elect, all right, this is where our trials and tribulations and testing is pretty much going to come from, all right? So it's going to require faith and patience during these times. What I want to get first, let's go to the book of Luke 21 and 19. Luke 21 and 19, it says, in your patience possess you your souls. So you can't be hasty in a time of trouble thinking that, you might go on a 2, 3, 4 day fast. You ain't ate nothing, all right? You can't have within your mind, the Lord has forsaken me, all right? Because ultimately you're just being tested. So your faith is everything in that time, all right? You still believe the Lord's going to deliver you, then ultimately he's going to show up and provide for you. He might send a raven to you, though. Some way, form, or fashion, the Lord's going to show mercy to his elect during those times, all right? But you got to endure. So going to the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So through faith, you're going to hope for good. You're going to hope that the Lord's going to come and save you out of that situation. All right. So verse 2 says, by it the elders obtained a good report because they had patience and faith, throughout their trying times. Hebrews 11:6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Shai, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So the ones that are diligently seeking Yahweh Bashim Shai, the Lord is going to reward them. As he has told us, he's not unrighteous to forget our labor and work of love. Let's just get that real quick. Hebrews 6 and verse 10. It says, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which is what we're doing now, serving Yahweh Bashim Shai in truth and in sincerity, which you have showed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So if you're not showing love towards the Lord's name, then ultimately you're not serving, all right? And he's not going to reward you for your unrighteous labors, okay, because you're not showing it towards his name. So in those trying times, we're going to think back up on scriptures like Isaiah, the 65th chapter, where it says in verse 13, therefore thus said the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. You see, behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Speaking about the 2/3 who are not serving Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. So the elect are going to be covered in that time. And ultimately that mercy will kick in, but you got to keep the faith, until it does. So, matter of fact, let's go to Revelation 3 and 10 real quick. Revelation 3 and 10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, all right, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That being, your resources being taken away, just as you saw in China, and you're going to be forced to comply with the government or depend on Yahweh Shema Shai. I said before you, life or death, choose life that you may live. And that's faith in Yahweh Shema Shai in the times of trouble. So with that, Lord willing, you will edify until next time I say, Shalom.